All right, this afternoon on Cheap Smokes, the Arturo Fuente Special, which is a curly head again that I've trimmed off, and a closed foot, so there's no requirement for toasting. We're just going to fire it up and see what develops. Now, yesterday I smoked the regular curly top, and I bought them at the same time, so that's what she looks like. Nice looking natural wrapper cigar. Arturo Fuente, established 1912, and this is the special selection. It's a long Corona. It's probably a 40-42 ring, and it's pretty long, so probably, a Panatella Larga, like. Okay, this cigar was $4. The other one was $3.30, I believe. This one was like $4.10, $4.15. And I thought to myself when I bought it, why? I can get a Perdomo Fresco for $4.35 in a Churchill. That would give me an hour's worth of pleasure. But then I said to myself, you haven't reviewed this for your friends out there on YouTube. So I picked this up instead. Just got back from my doctor's appointment. My appointment was at 3:30. I was there at 3:20. I didn't get seen until 4:30. I didn't get out of the doctor's office until, I was on the bike at 5:15. So I was going to go to the lounge, and then, at 5:15, I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to go home. I've got a cigar anyway, I'll just review that. I did, however, stop and get a beer. Do not laugh. This is the Bud Ice, which comes in at 5.5% alcohol. I thought it would come in at a much higher alcohol rate, because the ice beers back in the day were. All right, so anyway, the doctor said, it's okay to have one drink. Never said how big or how small that drink had to be. This is 25 ounces. All right, so I poured it. It had a nice head, but like all American lagers, that head dissipated mighty quickly. All right, you can look right through that. This has got corn and rice and 2-row hops, I believe, instead of 6-row. So let's give it a pull and see what happens. It's like a King Edward. It's there, but it isn't. Kind of sweet because of the corn. But better than a regular Budweiser. Okay, back to the cigar, the Arturo Fuente. Special. The green band, they check your temperature and they give you a green band if you're a go. If you're not, I guess they just send you home. Okay, flavors on this. Straight natural tobacco. Very little else. Through the retrohale. Straight tobacco. The thing about aged tobaccos is that you will pick up all the nuances. You'll get those flavors because they've been aged longer than normal. Now, I'm not saying that Arturo Fuente doesn't age their tobaccos. They do. I mean, the opuses are fantastic in most cases. So are the chateaus with the little cedar wrapped around it. And they have different wrappers they use, and of course, different blends for different lines. Those tobaccos are always aged. There we go with the flake. See, when I get a flake, That tells me it wasn't rolled as nicely as it should have been. However, it does have a nice point, and it's burning perfectly. So I'll shut the fuck up and take another pull of beer. Malty sweetness from the corn, I'm sure. Very effervescent, like a carbonated drink. Maybe I should start doing cheap beer reports. Oh! They just didn't have in a single big can or bottle a Heineken or a Modelo or a Corona for that matter. So I just grabbed what I thought would be the higher alcohol contented beer, and at 5.5%, that's really not high alcohol. Could have gotten a Steel 211 or some shit that has like 9%. That's wine percentage, you know. You get cheap Riuniti, it's like 8.5%. Most of your still table wines like Merlots and Chardonnays, they're 10 to 12. Still mostly, oh yeah, and I'm still geared up too. 28 this morning when I went to work, 28 degrees. And when I got home, it was 64, I think it was. So I rode the bike this morning knowing it was going to be cold, but I layered up. I've got the sweater on and everything else and the coveralls because leather is not warm, my friends. Leather is not warm. You need to layer up, put the coveralls over top, and you're fine. Good gloves, good boots, always, and socks. I use snowmobile mittens in the cold because nothing works better than those. Man, I tell you, people out there in those snowmobiles, they are pretty much bundled up too. And I almost bought a set of coveralls specifically made for snowmobiling because those guys, they know you got to bundle up to stay warm. Still burning nicely. Just the slightest amount of pepper coming on the finish. Not through the retrohale, but on the finish. The finish is medium. And it's gone. Which means I should probably take a pull of beer. After all, I have only one to drink. Ha ha! So out of that one 25-ounce can, I got 3 8-ounce glasses for $1.59. Okay. Now I see why people buy cheap beer. Back to the cigar. The Arturo Fuente Special. How special is it? Not so much. It is burning nicely, I have to say that about it. But there's really nothing that makes it stand out, you know, like coffee or, dark chocolate or anything of that nature, or spice like cinnamon or nutmeg or, you know, I always say this, price and quality pretty much go hand in hand with anything, you know. You buy cheap beer, it's going to taste cheap. You buy good beer, you don't have to drink as much and you enjoy it just as much, if not more. Same thing with a cigar. You know, when I smoke a cigar, whoa, you like beer? He just pulled his head back, one of my cats. Hello, big boy, you going to come join me? Come on. Come on. Nope, he left. There he goes. Yep, there they go. Cats. Yeah, we got a lot of them. You know, we are almost 10 minutes in on this video, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and call it. I don't think that's going to change any. Pretty much straight tobacco, earthy. Not heavily earthy like a Honduran cigar, but it is earthy. And on a scale of, 1 to 5, that's about a 2, 2.5. Nothing big. Honestly, I'd rather smoke a White Owl New Yorker. Okay, with that, I'm going to say good night and kurahi. If you've had this cigar before, comment down below. If you've had the beer or something like it, tell me about your ice beer experiences. Back in the 90s, early 90s, ice beers were all the rage. Everybody was making them. Then dry beers were that way too. I remember Grolsch had a dry beer. Okay, that's it. Good night, kurahi.